Evening, everybody, and welcome to Hot Mic with Lady She. This is episode 3. I am super duper excited as usual. I'm always on 10. It's all good. Tonight we have a special guest by the name of Curtis Flex Watts, who I've had the privilege to know for a very long time. I'm super excited. So I want you guys to welcome him. Please give us great energy, give us questions, do whatever you want on tonight, but tune in. I know he has some jewels to drop with us, and I'm just super excited for what God is doing in his life and what he's doing in the community. So let's welcome him in.
Good evening.
Mr. Watts, welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I am awesome. How are you?
Good. I'm great. It's a pleasure to be on tonight. I am grateful that you chose me tonight, and I'm ready.
Yes, I'm thankful that you accepted. Oh, listen, I'm nervous because I have a bunch of questions, so I'm going to try to condense everything because you've been doing such amazing things in the community for so long. It's like, I got to try to keep the questions to a minimum, but allow you to just do your thing. So first of all, let me just reintroduce you. This is Hot Mic with Lady She, episode 3 with Mr. Curtis Flex Watts of Hempstead, New York. He is the founder of One Through the One youth program. We are excited to have you here. He is also part ownership of Sharper Edges in Hempstead. We're just going to jump right in. First of all, wow. Thank you for coming on. Second of all, how did you get involved? How did you get started with One Through the One?
With the One Through the One, well, I was blessed to run for the Hempstead School Board 2 times in some years ago, and unfortunately, I did not make the school board. God had a different plan, but as I got close to the school board and I got to start to learn some things about the school board, the school district, and things as such, I realized that there were some things that I felt that was missing that needed to have more of a highlight on, and that was working with youth with their character, their attitude adjustment. So, when I didn't win the second time, I stepped back and God gave me a vision to start an organization called the One Through the One, where we go after one youth at a time, teaching morals, values, respect, attitude adjustment. And we also teach entrepreneurship, being that I'm a barber for over 32 years in the community. So, like I say, once I stepped back and I didn't make the school board, I wanted to still do something where I could participate and be a blessing to the community, or, despite not making it to the board. So, like I say, I started the program, and my brother Wallace Watts, who assisted
Shout out
me.
to Wallace.
Yes,
that's my boy right there. And Lourdes, his wife.
Yes, and he assists me with it, and we just started with our family. That's what we did. We didn't go out to the community. We got enough family. We got 9 brothers and sisters, so we got nieces and nephews and cousins. So we started with our family, and we just started, working with them, teaching them the morals, values, respect, and then taking them out. So on Friday or Saturday, we would take them out to an activity, and then on Monday, we would hang out with them to meet them where they at, to talk to them about, making sure their attitude was right.
Right. I love it. So I know you just mentioned that you have, what you said, 9 siblings?
Yes.
What was that like? What was home like? What was your childhood like growing up? Now, which number are you in the siblings?
Well, you know what? I've always feel favorite because I'm in the right dead smack in the middle. I'm number 5.
Oh, yeah. You.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
And it was just a wonderful experience. Sometimes, you listen to some people say that they didn't have a brother or a sister, and but sometimes they got much more things. They got much more material possessions, but we didn't have all of that. But what we did have was we had love. We always had to love on one another and share with one another, and that's what our house was all about. And that's part of what even the One Through the One is all about, is about how our mother taught us and and teached us, despite not having a father in the house. You know, she was a woman and she was strong on what she believed. And she taught us morals, values, respect. And that's what this program is about. And then as well, I could just jump over to having four brothers and a cousin that was just like a brother. Um, you know, so it was five of us, and my uncle who had 10 children. You know,
Wow.
he had six boys, so he was cutting his boys' hair, and then he was helping my mother out cutting her boys'
Oh,
hair.
shit. Okay.
Right. So eventually it was overwhelming, and he said, you know, he told my mother that he would help train us how to cut hair.
Love
And
it.
and with that, me and my brother, my oldest brother, started cutting hair. And you know, he wasn't getting paid for it, so he dropped out.
All
Me,
right.
my
He's like, hold on a second. Okay.
It was fun for me. I enjoyed doing it. You know, enjoyed the after you cut someone's hair, how they felt and things and such. So I wasn't looking for money. I just did it as a talent, not knowing that it was time invested into my future. And we'll get to that later on.
Absolutely. Ah, I love this already. I love this already. So you grew up in a household where it was just mom, but she gave love, and it also brought your family closer because you had close cousins as well that you grew up with as siblings. So someone was able to teach you a craft, and you're still blessing the community with that same exact craft. So when you think about how everything in your life has flowed, all right, do you believe in God? Yes.
Amen. Strong
So
believer.
does it feel like throughout everything seemed to be written, like God knew, like as a kid, this is going to be for me, this is going to be for me? Does it feel like everything flowed? Did you have little bumps in the road like coming up?
Yes, a whole lot of bumps in the road. Whole lot of bumps in the road. You know, went to jail at an early age, 16 years old. You know, selling drugs and so all those bumps in the road was, you know, it made me think. It made me have to understand and say, hey, why would I sell drugs when I got a craft? So there was times I would probably be over at the park and playing basketball and probably have a pocket full of drugs in my pocket. And when someone would come to me and say, can they get a haircut? The beauty of it, it superseded
Right,
the drugs. So I would get two or three people, walk down the street, cut their hair. Now that would created a safe haven.
right,
So I'm not only making a couple of dollars cutting hair, I'm learning the craft, I'm learning the skill, getting better, and I'm in a safe haven.
right,
So that's still part of what we'll get to when it comes to the one through the one as well, as part of what we do and why we do it.
right,
Because when we look at the invested time, because when we sell a kid today, don't sell drugs or don't join the gang or don't sit in the house and play video games all day. What are you going to put in place of that?
right, right,
And what I've learned, not even knowing, because what God was doing in my life was he was giving me a skill set to work on at an early age where I was investing time into my future, not even knowing. So
right,
now that's what we're putting into the program is that we want them to work through the vocational schools skills and the trades, and as well the STEAM, science, technology, engineering,
yes,
art, dealing with the 21st century jobs. But they have to invest the time to get better at them now. If they start working at them now at 13, 14, 15, when they 20, they got 5, 6 years of skill set.
right.
You add on to what they're about to learn, if it's college or if it's trade school, whatever it is. So that's what I learned, what it did for me. When I walked away from the you know, selling the drugs, I was investing into my future and not even knowing.
I love that. I love that. So, you mentioned when you take the child out of the situation of, because where we're from, Hempstead, this is what they connect us to, the bad stuff. But this is why I want this platform so I can have you guys come on and remind people it's not all about that. Like we have we had the Curtis Watts, we had the Don Ryan, we have these different people, we had the Vicky Moores, we have these people doing things for our youth so they don't end up over there, behind bars. But you said something that was significant, which was, what do you give them once you tell them to stop selling drugs? And that is a significant thing, because if you don't have anything to replace it with, they're going to end up back out there. So what happens? Has there been any situations or incidents where you're doing the work in the community? You have people in place, you have a team, your family at that are in place to mentor the kids, to speak to them, and to help them to see other things. Has there been situations where you may have lost someone, or they did go and do the wrong thing, maybe that one time, and now they're incarcerated? Do you guys have things in place where there's someone who can visit them, or they're in touch with the parent, to make sure they understand, okay, this happened now, but we still got you when you come out? Like, do you have something in place like that?
Well, we don't have nothing in place that follows them while they're, in trouble. But once they go home, because we're definitely heavy on reentry.
Right.
Getting them back to society. And like I say, that's the key. Working on the inner man, right? Our job to circumcise the heart of our youth, to be able to let them know that you're born into a world. So when we get them, we let them know you're born into a world that you don't even really know is systematic.
Right.
Right. And now you're following the world. And that's the reason why you're in the trouble that you're in. Our job is to come and love on you, meet you where you at.
You are.
Right. And then begin to clean you up, and then build the foundation up the right way, the proper way. And basically part of our curriculum is solutions to insanity. Because once we continue, even at a young age, we continue to do the same thing over and we're looking for these different results. But
right.
The is that you have to invest into yourself.
Right.
Now, age, and this can keep you away from the troubles and things as such. So we don't have nothing set up as now, which we're working, because Nassau County, with the COVID and everything that took place, right, have been pushed back. But we've been working towards trying to get into the jails, because there was one time we were in the jail, going visiting the youth in their cells, and speaking with them. So when they open back up, we want to be prepared to be able to follow the kid from the time he goes in and work and all the way till he comes out.
I love it. I love it. Listen, you need help getting up in there, let me know.
All right.
I'm all the way for it. And listen, you know how we do. If you can't come to the jail, I can get the cell to come to you. We've done that before. We do that because we gotta plant the seeds in these kids, man. It's so vital. And you're a man of God. This is how the enemy works. He want to get them when they're young so he can snatch their life. And you have to be in place. The community has to be involved when it comes to our youth. And stop referring to them as bad seeds, and this generation is this. No, you put the work in. They feel that love, they're going to start making change. They're going to make different decisions. I love that. So now, oh man, I got so many questions. Jesus. This is so good. This is so good. So who are the other people that you have? I saw one of the flyers. Every time you post something, I'll repost it on my page. But I know you have other people involved to come in to mentor the kids. Now, are they from different programs? Are they from Hempstead? Where are these gentlemen from?
Well, on one of our flyers, we have a program. Our program, the 1 through the 1, where we every other Monday, which this Monday at 6:30 and 7 p.m. Okay. We have the 6:30. We have Brother Antoine Moore, who's a teacher, 25, 30 year
Love
teacher.
that guy.
Hempstead High School.
Love Mr. Moore. Star program.
Yes, man of God. He does the 13 to 18-year-olds.
Right. This
week here, he'll be someone will be substituting for him because he'll be spending time with his wife. Happy birthday to his wife.
Happy birthday.
Brother Dwight Williams will be stepping in. He's in Virginia.
Dwight Williams, okay.
Dwight Williams, but he's from Hempstead.
Okay.
But he's part of the 1 through the 1. So we're on Zoom. So we'll be on Zoom. And then we have Brother Jay Crouch, who's a assistant principal over in Connecticut.
Okay.
Hempstead graduate, and he works with our 7 to 12-year-old.
Okay.
So, and we're doing very well. Normally we have Percy Jackson. We have not been able to get into Percy Jackson as of now. So listen, we're going to use the platform of the social media to be able to do things necessary. And with that, it extends further, right? Because now we got Virginia bringing a lesson this coming Monday. So we're going to continue to use the platform, whether we're inside or out in the house or out in the building. We're going to continue to use social media.
Love it. Listen, can't stop, won't stop.
Right.
The kids need us 24/7. So it's definitely can't stop, won't stop. You have to use the gifts that you have. Now, you know, you being a man of God, like, do you implement, you know, teaching them, you know, who God is, who they are, you know, knowing, understand that they are Abraham's seeds? Like, is your church connected to the program, or is this just your entity and you just speak on what you know to be true?
Yeah, we're faith-based.
Okay.
We're faith-based. And everything we deal with, like even our last part of our curriculum is who is there's a right way and a wrong way, right? Mm-hmm. And we talk about who and why do you follow, right? And we know as followers of Jesus Christ, mm-hmm. right? But then we look at social media today, and everything on their platform is follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me. Right. So why using the same words that our Lord Jesus Christ used? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you gotta be careful with the craftiness of the enemy, because everything on these platforms ain't telling us the truth.
That's a fact.
So it's pulling us far away from the truth. Mm-hmm. So we know who and why do you follow? Why are you following it? You know, and things as such. And following from the internet, you know, is very big. So right. We implement Jesus Christ all day. What we do is we bring it to them more in the layman's terms, that we're not beating them down with it, we're not over their head. Right. Because they're going through so much today, and they're listening to so much music, so much is going on. All you need is a little bit of Jesus to get in, and we can work with.
Say that. I love that. Wow. So now, okay, you've been in Hempstead all your life, correct?
Yeah. Yes, okay. 51 years.
So now, I'm sorry?
51 years.
Yeah, I'm a bit wigglish, and we're going to keep pushing. 51 years?
51, yeah, 31, yes.
51 years. 51 years. Okay, I love it. All right, so when it comes to, all right, you just said something significant in reference to social media. How do you feel it is more of a pulling because there's so much going on? I recently just said, you know, to my pastor and to the group of women in my church, I said, you know, we have to be praying for leadership all the more right about now. So there's so much, you know, out there that is distracting and that's showing them the wrong thing. You know, we even have leaders who just want to be famous. They're no longer even teaching the word. So how is your home setting, like when it comes to your children and your household? How is that set up where you being the head, you know, has it been a battle between being the husband, being a father, and also trying to lead the youth? Has it been like a distraction within your home, or has everything just flowed?
No, it's always somewhat a distraction. You know, I mean, because it go both ways. I mean, sometimes your house is looking for you to take care of house and not be all the way outside trying to do the work out there. And then outside is looking as well and saying, well, is his house in order? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And things are always, you know, first teach my youth, my daughters, that you know, social media is good, but we have to, for Jesus Christ is the way. Mm-hmm. You know, it's nothing else. You know, if we go to anything, let's, you know, go to prayer, go to God, get your answers from God. You know, social media can throw off a whole lot of things. It can have you in this world of expectations, and you know, and then you start living in the now. You know, mm-hmm. and it becomes now. If I don't get it now, then you're frustrated. Your anxieties and so much that overtakes you. So you have to be careful. And I always let them know, you know, the long way, because even the Bible tells us the long way is the best way. You take the short way, serpents, there's snakes, so much you're going to have to go through. So take the long way. Stop listening to social media and that quick fix overnight, temporary, you know, fix. It's not about that. It's about the long road, putting the work in, put that skin in the game, get the work done to get the results.
Right. Love it. Love it. So have you had any incidents where it's been like, you know, a battle for you? Like, I know you were doing it on Terrace Avenue as well. Yes. You were doing a program. Has it always been like how can I describe? You know, I've seen it where, you know, people want to do the work, and there's others who will try to interfere with that. They don't really want to do the work. They just don't want you to do the work. Do you understand what I'm saying? So have you had to deal with, like, I'll just say the phrase people use, you know, have you had to deal with the haters who were looking at you like, who was he to start this program with these kids? You know, he does have a past. Like, you know, have you had to deal with that?
Yeah, you always, you know, anything you deal with, you're gonna have to deal with that. And that's why, you know, one thing I try to make sure I always do is my book is open. So no matter what you feel, no matter what you say, I have no problem with letting you know who I am. I'm a sinner saved by God's amazing grace.
Right.
But the thing is that the key is that being that you in the community, you find somebody from that community, part of the community, and then you just work with them. And that's what I did over on Terrace. I was introduced to a couple of guys, Larry Gore, Dingle, Dwight Williams, and these guys, they were very good with the youth, and they were on hand. They was good with their community, Terrace Avenue, everything, and it just worked out good. And we created a Boys and Men. And before the pandemic, right before the pandemic, a week before the pandemic, and they shut everything down, we had a 20 youth.
Wow.
But the beauty of it is when you trust God, like it fell off because of the pandemic. It went away a little. But what took place was just about a month ago, they asked us to come and help mentor down at the Salvation Army.
Say again?
They asked us to mentor down at the Salvation Army.
Right. Wow, the South.
Right? And with that, went down there. They had some young men in the gym, and they opened up the gym for them to play basketball. The majority of the boys that we mentored was right there in the gym. So we didn't have to run and go get them.
Look at that.
Oh, good. He just, and then he didn't only give them back to us, but he gave them back to us with a gym and rooms to. God is good.
Well, you do the work, man. It's what I'm telling you. Tell people, listen, just do the work. Everything you need is in us already. He's placed everything we need in us for the whatever it is that you're trying to do, and it's pleasing him. He's going to move. He's going to do it. I love that. I absolutely love that. So what are some of the desires that you have for the program? First, let me go back to the family thing, because I love what you said. You said, I started with my family. Like, that's a big deal. What about those who, you know, don't have much family? You know, is it a thing where your family has understood that we're not just your family, we're everybody's family? Like, we're the Wasp, but we're Hempstead. Like, do they really understand how vital you guys are to the community?
Yes. Well, you know, even what we do, even in the barbershop and things, knowing the community, right? That's the beauty of knowing the community, is that, you know, you have a lot of guys. I mean, yes, they might be selling drugs. They might be doing the things necessary to survive. But they like to buy sneakers, and they like to buy coats and things as such. And, you know, nowadays, they'll wear a pair of sneakers 1 or 2 times and throw them to the side.
Yep.
Our job is, for organization, is bring them sneakers down here, because you can help somebody with them.
Right.
Right. So we collect sneakers, we collect clothes from the community. So no matter what you're doing, you can help the community. You can give something back. Right. So they, you know, so we get those clothes, and we see kids that come into the barbershop, and you can look at them and see who needs help. So whether it's giving them a haircut, whether it's, you know, seeing their size, knowing their size, giving them some particularly brand new sneakers that probably been worn 1 or 2 times, things like that. You know, we have to do what we got to do, look out, and be able to give back to the community.
All right. So now the program is also bilingual, right?
Yes.
You know, talk to us about that.
Yes. Well, we're blessed with my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, Sister Lourdes.
Shout out to Lourdes.
Yes, shout out.
Love her.
We all anyone that wants to speak in Spanish, anyone speaks in Spanish, that we, you know, we have someone that, you know, can translate to you. But let me just tell you one thing about this morning. The program we had. I went to the barbershop today, and as I'm walking to the barbershop, I'm walking in, and I see, you know, a Spanish mother with her 2 children, and her little boy is crying like crazy. I mean, literally. I'm looking at it like how we walk to school. Sometimes she's struggling. You know, you can't really chastise the kid as we did when we came up.
Right, right.
And the Lord put it on my spirit to ask her. I said, do he speak English? She said yes. So I went over and I spoke to him, and I gave him $1, but his whole spirit changed.
Right.
Ready to go to school,
Right.
Thing is just having a heart to care enough and not looking at it saying, well, oh, he's Spanish and I'm black and I can't reach him.
Right. Say
as long
that.
as you can reach anybody.
Right. Love that. Love that. Oh man. So the program is bilingual. You desire to meet the youth and the parents for that much where they are. How does that go in reference to the parents? Because nowadays, I don't know what's going on, but it seems like this generation of parents or parenting. This is why I gotta finish this book. Curtis. I can't wait till it comes out because I just know it's gonna bless people. They probably gonna think it's gonna be one way, but it ain't gonna be that way. But it's about parenting. How do you reach the parents who don't understand that their example and how they speak and how they carry themselves not just affects but infects their child, and that's what that's what shapes and molds them into this world? Like, what do you do for the parents?
Well, we definitely invite the parent to be part of, because the curriculum that we use is not only for youth, it's for everyone.
All right.
It's not only for the youth. I'd say we use the curriculum in the reentry homes, in men's shelters.
Okay.
The curriculum is based to make you look within yourself, look at the man in the mirror, and not pointing fingers and pointing in who didn't do or who helped, didn't help. So our job is always talking truth to power. We speak truth to parents. We're not afraid to speak truth to power. We're not afraid to tell you the truth. We're not afraid to tell you, how you can advance or where you're wrong at. But it's just how your presentation or how you speak and things like that. So, through the time, and that's one of the things, we do have as one of our policy procedures, there's certain things we can't say, even to the youth.
Right.
Go back and say, when we was younger, we couldn't do that. That, what goes on today and back then, you lost the kid.
Right.
Our thing is being straight parents. This is why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
If you want your child to get where you got to get on board. And you gotta show. As a matter of fact, we do self-awareness, and our first subtopic is self-image. So when we work with self-image, our thing is, what is your image around your children, to your community? And if we're dealing with it from a youth perspective, what is your image when you're in school? How you sit in your chair tells if you want to learn or not.
Right.
So your image. So as a parent, what's your image to your child? What are you showing your child? Because you can't child want this to do this and do that. You're feeding them, and then you acting like this. Who you gonna mimic?
Right. Have you ever had an incident where you're mentoring a child and something happens and the parent gets upset and they take them out?
No.
Thank you, God. No.
No.
I'm so glad. I'm so happy about that. Because everybody's not receptive. They're just not. Some people just want somewhere to take their kids, but they don't want to grow.
Right. No, but the thing is that one thing that we've learned, and this is the honest to God truth, we're a loving program. Everything is based upon love, meeting people where they at. So it's never a challenge. Listen, if someone is a blood and he's coming, keep your do-rag on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If I tell you to take do-rag off and you want to go, then you can't hear what was supposed to be said tonight. Mm-hmm. So we got to understand, that's what I say. It's not about the outer.
Right.
We're working in a man, right? That's what we always tell people. Even when people set a kid up for a job interview, and give them a haircut, teach them how to tie, put the right clothes on them, right? And then when it's time for give them the words to articulate for the job, and then you get a job. I can't say with you because it's much more training to get to where you at. Mm-hmm. But he gets a job where I'm at, and then I tell him, listen, move this chair from this side of the room to the other. Now I got attitude.
Right.
So we got to be able to teach the kid from the inside. And that's everybody got to be, the inner man got to be right. We can outside can look good all day long.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right.
And ain't nothing going on the inside. That's the truth. That is the truth. So how do you receive sponsorship, or do you receive sponsorship? How do you get funding in reference to, because I know you guys, you definitely feed them, because I've come to your program a few times. Y'all feed them folks, because I had me a plate or two. I'm up there at the coat drive. I said, okay, they here eating. Let me take my seat and learn something. You know, you guys are doing it. So how do you receive funding? And is there like links that we can hit for sponsorship?
Honestly speaking, we just received our 501c3. We've been around since 2000.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But we just received it because we want to have everything the right way. We want to do everything.
Realities.
And so with that, we have not even been doing fundraising. One thing about me, I'm not going to oppress my community. Mm-hmm. So we just out of pocket. I have a wife. You was asking me, and my wife, she's a caterer. My wife, Felicia Watts, she does all the cooking for us. And we do get donations from the community because people do believe in us. They yes. You know, but we're basically what the out of pocket, because all we do is we get together every other Monday. We eat from 6:30 to 7. This when we was in the building.
Right.
From 6:30 to 7, and then from 7 to 8 we would have our session.
Right.
Whatever the food was, you know, it was she cooking it for free. We putting it out our pocket, little money. We sit there, we eat, we have a session, and then Percy Jackson was giving us the building where we.
Right. This is awesome.
Right, but we do have platforms of social media, you know. To receive funding.
Okay, share that with us.
We're on Cash App, $ Otto, which 1 through the 1.
You said Cash App?
Cash App. That's $
Right.
OTTO Otto. That's capital Otto 2015. That's all we have right now. We're working on Venmo right now, which would be sent to the 1 through the 1. Okay.
So we got Cash App, $ OTTO 2015.
2015.
The word 2015 or 2015?
2015, yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So if they want to donate, they could just send through there.
Yeah.
Okay. And right now you guys are operating through Zoom. What is the Zoom information? I'm going to put everything in the description anyway. So if you can't say it off the head.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot of information. That's awesome. Awesome.
It'll be on Facebook tonight.
Okay.
All right.
I love it. So what are some of the goals connected to 1 through the 1? What are some of the goals? Do you plan on retiring from cutting hair? Like, what's that? Big shout out to Mel the barber too. I'm losing it. Shout out to Mel. Mel, listen. For y'all who don't know he's gonna share the address to this barbershop, but when I tell you they are a pillar in our community, like Mel is like they both are like celebrities in Hempstead, okay? Cutting everybody hair. I promise you that. And then I have to shout out Mel and Mr. Flex, because when I first wrote my book, I came in and showing them the book. They bought the book. I was like, okay, can I put a few up in here? And they like, absolutely, with no question. They had my book in the barbershop. People telling me thank you and congratulations. I don't even know what they talking about. They like, oh, I bought the book. I'm like, well, where you get the book from? Oh, the shop, the barbershop. I said, wow. So this is not just we just need attention 1 through the 1. Like, they're about their business when it comes to the community. So I just want to thank you publicly, you and Mel, for entrusting me. Y'all even have to know what that book was about, but just because it was me, you know what I'm saying? You did that. And so I appreciate the love. That's real.
Thank you. Well, boots on the ground. We know boots on the ground is real.
That's right? That's a fact. Can't fake that. Can't fake that. And yes, huge shout out to Miss Felicia Watts. She be in there cooking, man. They be in there cooking. She carrying the food and everything. And it's the family. That's what I think people need to really understand. Like, you can outsource and go to other people, but if you starting with your family, like that says a lot about character. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Not growing up with the father in the household, do you think that gave you some type of light to say, I have to do the work in the community because I know what it's like to not have a dad in the house?
Yes, but it was just the fact that once, when you got 8 brothers and sisters, right? Now, I mean, I'm in the middle, like I said. I had to hit the streets at like 13 years old, right? Selling drugs, doing the necessaries. But when I got arrested at 16 in one of the first raids that they had in Hempstead, and I got locked up, and I realized what, being like, I didn't want nobody to deal with that. I didn't want nobody to have to be incarcerated.
Right.
That's what was my change right there. It was always a concern.
Right.
I have a lady that comes in the barbershop. Her name is Laura. And she's a heavy set lady. She pushes a cart. She has a very squeaky voice, and people snap on her in school when we was in high school. But she comes by and see me still to this day because of how I treated her in school.
Wow.
And that was always part of my makeup. I always think about someone else, because that's what my mother taught us. We had 8 we had to take care of. So anybody out in our community is the same thing. We got to make sure. So that's what this whole thing is about, is just, making sure that everybody gets it. And then when you come to a place of realizing that there's the suppression and the oppression that's stopping people from developing. Right? And then they need those resources. Right? And that's what the program is based upon, working together with the government, right? To be able to create those resources to develop our people through the systematic system, to get around this thing, because we serve God, right?
That's it.
And put one of our subtopics in self-awareness is you're fearfully and wonderfully made by God, So do you God in you? Do you know who you are? So what, you fat? You're made that way. So you got a big nose, Be confident about yourself, because God made you. So that's what we're about,
I love it. So is it a thing where people have, because we all grew up, being a Hempstead, and we can like name people who were like examples, or who we know said a certain thing to us growing up, as youth. Like I had, I had this, when you said the Salvation Army, I caught a chill because, I'm from Terrace, and even though Terrace was the way it was, the Salvation Army was literally down the street, and that's what really changed my life, because that was where I got my first job. That's where I saw people really caring about the youth, talking to us about how to carry ourselves and stuff like that. So do you see that what you started is going to continue on because of the seeds you planted, the other youth that you're growing up? Do you feel like they're going to continue to do the work after you're choosing to do other things?
Yes. And that's why I said that we just now getting our 501c3.
Right.
Because a lot of people can jump out there early and be a fly by night. We're not looking to do that. We're looking at our background checks, our policy procedures, everything is in place. And then those young ones can see, what's taking place. Like we have letters from some of from the parents talking about how their children have now better social skills.
Right.
Because we've been working with them, or they're not doing this or they're not doing that. Actually, my brother Wallace just was talking about his son just the other day on our prayer line in the morning, on how he's starting to see life and be appreciative. So one thing, because when we came up, right, we knew sometimes that words can change you.
Right.
Words can change you, and sometimes it could be somebody in the community that's telling you something that your parents is telling you. You don't want to hear from your parent, but then you hear from this person. So that's what our program is. The strategic way of us raising the community and still being able to give them some good information without, beating it down into them.
Right.
when we sit in the circle and we talk, everybody's talking. It's
Right.
not like one leader and everybody listening to what he's saying. No, you can tell me how you feel. Nobody's in trouble in the room.
Right.
Tell me what you did today.
Right.
You ain't in trouble, but we just want to know what you did so we can work on doing better.
Love it. Love it. So as we all know, kids can feel, kids can feel. So the space that you created is a safe place for them. They can feel love. It don't mean their parents don't love them, but they can feel love. They can feel when something is genuine, when they're around someone who wants them to be okay. That's what that is.
Yes.
Wow.
We every other week, and that's why we did it every other week, because when you do something every week, then they don't want to come. But when they every other week, sometimes we be shocked when we see the number that would come through the door, because they want to be there.
Right. It's the love. It's the love. It's God.
Yes.
It's God. That is awesome. Oh man, Flex, you something else, man. I'm just so thankful. I'm telling you, every time you post something, I repost it, because I said y'all gotta come through here. We gotta do it together, and that's period. We have to do it together. So, in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself, and where do you see the program? First of all, let me ask you this: have you thought about having an outside entity where you, Mel, or whoever in the barbershop is able to teach those who would like to learn the skill set of cutting hair? Have you thought about that?
Yes. We're working on that now. I tell you, that pandemic was something, right? We had did a fundraiser where we partnered with the 1 through the 1 in the barbershop.
Okay.
And we called "Come Let Us Upgrade You," and we were looking at business in the community, and we want to help them to be able to not be a hustle. Build your infrastructure that you could build up on. So it's like we want to upgrade you in your business, because we know a lot of us we got hustles. We creating clothes, we creating drinks and but it's just a hustle. We need to be able to turn this around and make it a business. So that's what we're doing. And in that, our job in the training and the vocational skill is to teach the barbering skill.
Right.
We created something called the Art of Barbering. And now I'm working actually with it's not the Long Island Barber Institution, but it's the New York State Barber Institution on Greenwich Street in Hempstead now, because they're New York State now.
Okay.
And they want to bring in the attitude adjustment part.
Okay.
Because like I tell them, you can teach the skill set, but you have to teach the attitude.
Right.
And unfortunately, there was been a young man who had a situation there, and his attitude caused him to have to get kicked out. So me and the owner, Mr. Felder, is working to make sure that he get the rest of his hours to go started to finish.
Right.
And our job is that we can't send him out there without his paperwork. So we got to find a way to meet him where he at now.
Right.
While we're going to merge what we're doing into what they're doing to be able to work.
I love it. Look at God. It's God. It's God. It's divine connections.
Nobody but God.
I'm telling you, it's divine connections. And I think the thing that's significant is with what you're doing, how you said, I asked you and you said, no, we take out of pocket. When you have the spirit of service, he will take care of you. And that's what that is. So all the things that you desire is going to be met because you have a spirit of service. You have a spirit of service, and it's needed, at such a time as this. Our Black men for sure, and our Black boys, they watching a lot go on that's against them. So when it comes to, vital programs like this, it's very significant. It's very significant to their well-being, to their life. You know what I'm saying? One conversation, at 1 through the 1 could save somebody's life, either their own or someone's on the street, depending on what kind of life they're living on the street. Right? Amen. Amen. This is awesome. I can't. Oh my gosh. All right. So we have you guys connected to Virginia, to Connecticut, to Hempstead. What other places are you trying to do? Is it going to be a thing where you just letting God do it and how Zoom takes you? That's where you're going. Like, how is this going to go? You guys going to have conferences?
Yeah, well, we're looking to do conferences eventually. We're looking to do training. You know, send our people to go down and train people when others start seeing it, they want to mimic it. We want to be able to go down and do training. We got brother Doug Massey, Doug Fresh. He's down in Baltimore, Maryland. You know, so we're working down in Baltimore, Maryland. But like we say, even in our mission statement, in our mission statement it says the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Love
so
it. See?
we
Look
ain't
at
living.
that.
We talk about the.
Look at that. And you probably didn't even see that coming, right? It's just like words create things. Your words create. Your words create. Oh man, that is awesome. All right, so we have you connected to the Barber Institute. No, the Art of Barbering.
Yeah.
That's going to be the program. Love that. The Cash App to donate is Money Score OTTO 2015 if you want to donate to 1 through the 1. If you are looking to have your child learn about barbering, please contact Mr. Curtis Flex Watts. Sharper Edges. Now you said you're partnership of Sharp Edges, right?
Me and Mel is partners. Yep. Actually, we'll be 27 years.
Wow.
One location.
One location.
1995.
Congratulations. That is wow. That's God, man. That is God. I love it. I love it. So once everything kind of falls into place with the pandemic, we're praying. Will you be returning to Percy Jackson, or are you looking to have your own? Like, how is that going to go?
Yes, well, we'll be looking to return at Percy Jackson because we'll be looking to do after school tutorial.
Okay.
You know, do after school tutorial. You know, all these schools need attitude adjustment. You know.
Right.
So we'll be looking to do that. But one of our major is what we want to do is really collaborate with the churches.
Okay.
And we want to do universal teaching.
Explain that.
What it is that we know in the pandemic, right?
Right.
Everybody was able to look at everybody wherever you want. If you wanted to look at somebody in church down south, you could look down south.
Right.
You wanted to look at somebody from across the street from your church, you can look at him. It became more universal.
Mm-hmm.
My job is what I'm looking at. I want to make sure that the churches are not going back to the old ways and not going back. This is my church, my children, my youth. We need to collaborate. And I've been working with Pastor Easley. Been working with Pastor Easley to work to create a program where we're
Which
doing.
Which church is it?
Pastor Easley is Union Baptist Church, so I'm looking to work out of here.
Union Baptist Church in Hempstead, right?
Yes. Okay. And what we're doing is we're creating it's called the Sunday Steam. We'll the accliments of the science, technology, engineering, and math, but we want to bring youth from all over. Right. All over. Rockville Center, Freeport, Hempstead, have like a round robin where we can go to all different churches, go to communities, and have church from 12 o'clock to 1. But then on Wednesday, we'll be teaching the STEAM. We'll be teaching financial literacy, teaching our kids money, currency. You know, we look at all the cryptocurrency, all these things that are going on.
Absolutely.
We're teaching our youth, and we have to be able to begin to teach. So we're going to teach them the entrepreneurship, and we'll be doing mentorship, teaching them that they're really mentors. If you got a sister, younger brother or sister, you're a mentor. If you got a coach, he's your mentor. All of these things that are necessary to teach them, you know, guidance and experience, you know. But yeah, that's where we at with it right now. So we look at church, work with the churches, and be able to work it through a faith base, through our organization, and be able to and have them come every other week. So we might move it from Monday, if we can, to Sunday from 12 to 1 and do the same thing, but then have a Wednesday where we can teach the other, the STEAM, the financial literacy, and things like that.
God gonna do it.
Amen.
Listen, thank you to everybody that's coming on. I do apologize. I didn't even realize they was putting comments in the chat. I'm just seeing it. So thank you to everyone who's come on, to support Mr. Curtis Watts. Thank you so much for your comments and your feedback. When I post this, I will have a description with all of his information. So if you would like to donate to One Through the One, you are welcome to do so. I will post a Cash App as well. He said he will have Venmo coming soon, and you can just contact him for anything else you would like to do. I know I usually give coats and clothes and stuff when he's having his coat drives, as well as to my church. He's always doing something connected to the youth. Please follow him on Instagram. Let me see here. He's on Facebook and Instagram. All words, One Through the One is the program. So please follow him now on Instagram and on Facebook. Please support this young man. Yes, he's still young. Support this young man. Support this family. I'll say that. Support this family and what they are doing in the community, because such a time as this, our people need to be uplifted. Our children and our youth, they are our today. They are not our future. They are our today. And I just want to tap into what you just said lastly about the other programs. Myself, my husband, we know a bunch of entrepreneurs who would love to volunteer and teach about financial literacy. Him and I are stepping out on some other things connected to passive income. I always share that so much we did not learn in high school. We did not learn. And now I'm teaching my kids about it. NFTs and all these different things. Bitcoin is so much to be taught that they can really, truly win and not have to repeat, what was the past. We have the power to break generational curses. You're doing it. You are doing the work. So we have to understand we need more of the Flexes in every community. We need more of the Antoine Moores. We need more of the Mel the Barbers. We need more of the Watts family. We need to have villages, to be effective. So I'm just super excited for you. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there any statement or quote you would like to leave the people with? You can shout out whoever you want to shout out, but leave us with something that we can, that will resonate in us for tonight.
Well, whenever I get on a platform or anything, it's Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, I always say, listen, Jesus is the way. He's the way. I thank God that he saved me. Like I say, I'm a sinner saved by God's amazing grace. He ain't done with me yet, but I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And, I'm just walking the walk. But in life, our job with the One Through the One in my leadership is put one foot before the other. Journey out, because the world is going to try to knock you off. It's going to try to stop you from the greatness that the world that you could present to the world. And it's not going to do it. Don't want us to do the necessaries, but we are strong. We are children of God. And we are fearfully and wonderfully made. God loves us. He has provided a way for mankind. Yes. And all we got to do is just follow and be able to listen and not get so distorted with the world and let the world overtake us where we can't hear from heaven. All our blessings come from heaven, not from the world. So that's our job, is to teach our youth, teach even those coming home from jail, recovering from drugs, that if you put your hand in God's hand, if you trust in God, everything is going to be all right. I'm a firm believer. I love the Lord. I thank you, Sister Beach, for this wonderful, was I scared all day? Yes. But all things is possible.
Same here.
And I'm just ever grateful. I'm thankful that I got a relationship with God. And that's the biggest thing I can tell anyone. That and then get in the game. Right. If the harvest is right, the labors are few. There's a lot of work to do, and you ain't got to do what everybody else is doing. Get in your lane, stay in your lane, and be successful in your lane.
Absolutely. Amen. I was scared all day too. I'll tell you, I don't know what God is doing, but every time, this is the third episode, each time I have an encounter with him before I come on. Like, I was singing, you will probably see me on Facebook looking a fool, but I don't even care. But I just had to give him glory. I'm like, God about to do something with this episode. So I'm just thankful. I'm so thankful for you because you have been doing this for years. And like I said, I've always been a supporter. So I'm thankful that, little old me was able to encounter you and push me to do the work. And like I said, I'm putting it out there right now. I know you can't go into the jails right now, but I'll use my connections. We will get that mock cell right over to you and teach these kids. It's not about glorifying going to prison or going to jail. It's about teaching you that we don't want to see you in there. So the 1 through the 1 program is very essential at this time. So continue to do what God has created you to do, because this is all him. He's intentional. We all have a destiny. This is your calling, and we are thankful for you. Huge shout out to the Watts family as a whole. Lourdes, keep doing what you're doing. Wallace, everybody that's involved, just keep pushing the envelope. Keep challenging us. Keep challenging the community to get involved with our youth, and not just our youth, but also our parents, because the parents are the first teachers. You can do all you can, but if nothing's, penetrating with the parent, it may fall to the wayside. So I admonish you and I thank you in advance for doing the work, not just with the youth, but also with the parents. I'm hoping that people, after they see this, that they understand that everything is not about college. They can learn a skill set. They can learn about cutting hair, and it will change a person's life. We done seen the movie Barbershop, and we see all the stuff that goes on in there. That stuff is real life. People be in there crying because they like, I got to get this job. I don't have the money to get a haircut, but I might encounter Flex, who understands that if I get this job, it's going to change not just my life, but my kid's life, and I can pay him later. That's a big deal. Amen. That's a big deal. So we have to do the work. And I just thank you again, just for who you are in God. I just know everything's going to fall into place for you. I just know the funding is going to come, whatever you need, because of your spirit of service. God is going to do that. And once again, thank you for coming on tonight. This was awesome. Love you to pieces. And I will see you the next go round. I don't post the other event. Share what's next. I know you said every other Monday for the program, but you sent me another flyer. You guys are doing a toy giveaway.
Doing a toy giveaway down at Honda Millennium on December 11th.
All right.
From 2 to 4. And we got Ducky Confetti.
Shout out to Ducky Confetti, Hempstead.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. God has blessed him right from Martin Luther King Drive.
That's it.
Out there, doing his thing. Shout out to good works that he's doing. And then on Christmas, we'll be at Jackson, where you always come and help out at.
That's right.
Always. So we'll be over there from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Christmas Day. Jesus picked up the tab, so anybody could come out and eat.
Love it.
Others will be cooking. It's not a soup kitchen. It's good cooking where where we sit with people that don't look like us, that don't smell. Right. But it's community. So everyone's welcome to come out Christmas Day from 12 to 5. All
right, let's do it.
Brian Jones.
All right. Shout out to him, Brian. Look at it. We got some awesome people from Hempstead, man. Like we just do. We have all we need. Literally. We have all we need. If people actually pay attention, we have all we need. All it takes is you coming together, being in and on one accord, and the work it's going to work itself out. It's going to work itself out. So once again, thank you. I will be posting everything. I've been writing stuff down since you've been talking. I will put everything in the description, and on both platforms, on social media, I will share everything that you share with us. More life. Just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for coming on, Mr. Curtis Flex Watts.
Thank you for having me. God bless you and continued success.
Thank you.
Amen.
From your lips to God's ears. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Have a good evening.
Thank everyone. God bless.
Yes, thank you everyone for coming on. Please share this live. Good night.